I go play. And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk, our second episode of season 2. Before we go forward, I do want to extend my apology to the audience about last week's episode. Due to technical difficulties that was basically on my responsibility. Unfortunately, we cannot air last week's show. So again, I do apologize for that, but we are here and we're ready for another edition of it. So we welcome you. Big Thursday. Got the Easter weekend coming up. Baseball season started today. And we're also going to talk about the Lakers and the Clippers as their playoff push continues. And we'll give you an update on the Rams, who signed some very key players on their defense. We'll get to that in a bit. But again, let's introduce the crew here. My name is Edward Rientaso.
What's up, guys? My name's Jesus. Thank you for Edward for the invite.
My name's Edwin Montejo. My mic's not even on.
You're good.
Is it? Okay, all right. My name's Edwin Montejo, but everyone just call me Eddie. Jeez. And yeah, excited to be back.
It's still in the works, my boys. It's still in the works. But now that we got the introduction out of the way, let's get together and let's talk about the top story. The top story. Well, Laker Nation, you guys are on the road. The Lakers have won 5 in a row, including 2 impressive victories last night and Tuesday night. Tuesday night, a double overtime victory in Milwaukee, followed by a great win last night in Memphis. The Lakers are currently in 9th place, the first spot in that play-in tournament in the season's end. They're trying to get to the top 8, so I don't have to worry about that. So let's talk about the purple and gold. And gentlemen, here's my first question. Lakers on a winning streak right now. Can they keep it up?
Yeah. I give them props. They took Tuesday's win with no LeBron, then a back-to-back game the next following day. No Anthony Davis, and they took the back-to-back wins on that one. So a 5-game winning streak, they're looking pretty solid. I think they're in the right momentum right now, and I think they're gonna keep it up.
What do you think?
With the Lakers having a big history with them becoming a full dynasty, and after the 2020-2021 season was their last championship, which made most people go, they have enough championships. All right, the thing is, the Lakers are a lot hungry for more. More upset as to the back when the Warriors versus the Celtics in the championship. Then we had the Denver Nuggets against the Miami Heat, which some people could say was a bit of an upset. And even though I still believe the Lakers are very fond with very more possible entries to going into the playoffs, and I'd say for them the future's looking bright.
Indeed, it is looking bright. And I want to go back to the Milwaukee game. I felt like they could have won that game in the fourth quarter in the first overtime because they were doing some things that really kind of got me my itch, because it's like, man, you're making threes when you don't need it. You're overpassing when you're not supposed to, and you're not paying attention when the ball's thrown to you. Like that one play Anthony Davis went out of bounds. And keep in mind, Anthony Davis played a lot of minutes in that game, because no LeBron James.
Right.
He got hurt because it looked like he hurt his ankle after blocking one of those shots. And this guy is a good blocker, and he's a good player to keep on that squad. But how do you control his minutes without hurting him? Which, to me, we look at in the old days with Shaquille O'Neal, his toe. Now here, Anthony Davis, his ankles, his legs, whatever. Like, how do you keep the man from not getting hurt and keeping him healthy right now, especially at the right time?
Yeah, that's tough, man, because the playoffs are coming up, and I've heard Anthony Davis is made out of glass. He's questionable nearly 75% of every game coming up on every game before the game starts. He's on the injury report, so.
It's either injury, game time decision.
Game time, every day.
A lot of hate going on with Anthony Davis being such a of his own. Oh man, it's like him being a prisoner of his own shell.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not that we're trying to make a deal like a fuss about it, but still at the same time, you don't have your other best player. You know, your other players are struggling. You know, the other good player on that team right now is Russell, D'Angelo Russell, and Austin Reeves, who, by the way, he had a triple double in that game, almost 30 points, and I believe
AR.
he hit the three that got them on the lead. They were trailing as much as almost 20 points in the second half, and when they went to the lead in overtime, that was the first time they led all night.
Yeah, who knows with what's going on with Anthony Davis and his very
History.
lack of trying to have rather minor injuries. Rather, it's every time whenever he lands on the floor, just oh boy, here we go again.
How do you feel though? Like, he's the leader of that team. I mean, he led in 34 points. He was perfect from the line, and he had 23 rebounds. What shows like he's like the number one man in that offense next to LeBron James?
Probably not getting it.
He had to show up, man. No, LeBron James is basically, without your superstar, you know how it goes in the
LeBron
NBA.
might wonder who am I going to trade this time.
Yeah, but you wonder too, like, what's gonna happen after LeBron James? He's not gonna play forever. He you know.
I personally feel like he has 2 years in him left.
Well, I believe he has a 1 year left on that contract, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't.
But he wants to play with his son. That's his goal. But we'll see what happens.
I mean, we don't know about his son's condition. He had that cardiac
Oh,
arrest.
yeah.
I think it was earlier last year. Yeah, so I mean,
Gave him a little
that's
pause. That's a little.
I think Darrell Reeves said it one time, goes, fire time just catch up to you in those ages, in those late stages. I mean, like, our age, we're almost close to him. He's like, what, 40? 40, 38 maybe? 30 years old?
Who?
LeBron James?
LeBron, yeah, he's already he's about to hit his 40s, I
He's
believe.
going to enter his early 40s.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I got a couple more years before I hit my 40s, man. I was like, ugh. I don't even think.
And how you feeling?
I think I'm going to have a midlife crisis now you brought it up, dude.
Oh, come on, man. It's not right. That's not right. But
Hey, come on. I mean, are you impressed by the way this team is playing at the right time? They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. I've been keeping up with the season, the NBA season, and it's pretty surprising they're keeping up in these last couple games of the season.
About players stepping
About
up,
to
though.
make it into the play-in tournament.
Well, because right now they're at 41 and 32. They're in
41.
ninth place, so they're the first team in that tournament. You want
Right.
the top 8, I believe they automatically get in. So
Well, I believe there's this year they made it in-play tournament. So the top 10, the last top 10, from 8 to 10, they play for the top.
Well, last year I think last year or the year before they started it, but the Lakers actually came out of the play-in tournament, made it to the Western Conference Finals, and many wonder had the Lakers maybe came out of it in the 7th spot or the 6th spot. You know, maybe they would have put up a better fight, because to me, I'm gonna be straight up honest. I think when they got to the Western Conference Finals, they were gassed.
indeed.
They were gassed. Memphis gave them a run. Golden State gave them a run, and I believe they played Minnesota in the third round, I think.
I'm not very sure about that. Are you talking about last year?
Yeah, because I know last year they did the play-in tournament.
Right.
The Lakers were in that play-in tournament. Actually, they played Memphis. They played Memphis first. Then they played Then they qualified to the next round. They played Golden State. They beat Golden State, and then they went to Denver, and that's where they were gassed. Because I believe they took the 2 meetings from Memphis. Then they went 6 games against the Warriors, and then they got swept by Denver. So that shows that they were already gassed when they got to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, how big of an important role is to finish high in the rankings to avoid that from last year? And if they can make it through the playoffs, like, can they beat these other teams in the Western Conference? I mean, we know they struggle with Denver. The Clippers, I mean, they did okay this year. They won 3 or 4, but still, you have those other teams. You also have Golden State. You also have Minnesota and, Sacramento. And these are teams that the Lakers have struggled with this year.
Yeah, it seems like they're losing to the top 5 seeds in the West as far as competition wise goes.
I mean,
like for an example, the Clippers, these last couple of games after the All-Star break, it's been super tough. Bad chemistry, disappointing losses, 20-point losses pretty it's not we're not really used to this having Kawhi and just the whole superstars
Well, I mean,
healthy for a full season.
Call me Leonard. Like he's never been healthy. He's
Yeah.
always had a
Oh,
health
cool.
issue ever since he's been here. Same thing with Paul George, and many of the fans and the front office is actually they pay attention to that. If you can't hit, it's funny. We're talking basketball, and homies over here looking at the menu from Chinese food, man.
I forgot I was in. That is why I don't think out loud.
You thinking out loud, or you thinking with your stomach?
I just ate. I'm full. I'm just looking at what else. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, I know you're
get
eating right
full?
in front of us.
You get full?
I was.
Did you get full, or you still want some, dude?
Nah. I'm good.
I mean, he literally has the container like right next to
All right.
us.
Shut up. Continue.
Or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. But
What about them Rams though?
oh yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But now let me ask you this:
Yeah.
between the Lakers and the Clippers, who has the better talent? Who has a better chance of at least trying to make it to a championship?
I'm being biased since I'm a Clipper fan. The Clippers.
We got two Clipper fans in the building.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm outnumbered over here. Then I mean, I want to believe in the purple and gold, but still,
Right.
I mean, the age-wise, it's.
Yes.
I mean, look, I can't really decide because they both have Achilles. The Lakers are Achilles because of their age.
Right.
The Clippers are their Achilles because their star players cannot stay on the court.
You can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
I mean,
can't stay
this
healthy.
unit that they got, they can be better if they stay on the court for the full 82-game season. Think about it. They stay healthy, they're dominant. You lose one, you don't know what your identity is.
Yeah, that's all about.
I mean, what do you say to like something like that? I mean, that's how I see it. They got both Achilles. One's for the age, and the other one they just can't stay healthy.
One thing I can say for sure is that at least Russell Wilson is happy playing for an LA team, rather than all of the hate he's gotten in the Lakers. Russell Westbrook, it's just man, he just wasn't happy there. He just wasn't happy. All the things that he was doing too, he was just like, it caused a big confusion. But
The funny thing is that he was putting up numbers for the Lakers. Downfall of it was they weren't winning enough, and I believe
Yeah, a
the
little
management
bit
were
of-
like, we gotta get him out of here.
And the fans are pretty crucial out there in LA, man. They're
Oh,
very competitive, passionate about their sport. I like it.
It's more of like, what have you done for us lately? I mean, you look at past years where they were dominant. They just couldn't get out of the second round. Last year they made it to the play-in tournament. They didn't do well. They got swept. They didn't win any games. And maybe they won one game, but that was it. They just couldn't do anything right now. And here let me give you the updated standings right now. The Lakers are in ninth right now.
Right.
Winners of 5 straight,
What about
7
the
of the last
Clippers?
10. Clippers are currently in 4th spot. They haven't been doing well. They've lost 6 of their last 10. So
No, yeah, like I was saying after the All-Star break, there's some momentum that went down for the Clippers. But that top 3 seed is looking pretty solid between the Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves, and the OKC Thunder.
who would have thought the Thunder would be up there?
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander
Yeah,
was drafted by the Clippers. What a superstar!
well, not just that. I mean, you look at. I mean,
They're young. They're young, hungry team. They remind me of the Rams. We're young, hungry.
Yeah, the Clippers draft picks usually miss, but
That was a special one.
once they finally go away,
Yeah, I know.
they finally
They
start
turn into-
succeeding.
Yeah.
Like Sean
happened.
Livingston.
Yeah.
Like Sean Livingston.
Yeah, I
He
remember
was
John
in that-
Livingston.
Yeah, he got drafted by the
Injury.
Clippers.
Yeah, he came out of
he got-
UCLA too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got one of the
Hometown kid.
most scariest injuries of his career. Came back and won 3 of them things with the Golden State
Mhm.
Warriors.
You remember Andrew
Top
Bynum?
3, right?
Remember when Andrew Bynum came into the league? He was he to me he was a key player of that offense. When he went down in 08, that was when he lost to the Celtics. The thing about it, had he not get hurt that year, they would have won
They
that
would've won
championship.
it.
They would have won
I
that
think so.
championship.
Yeah.
It was all Kobe and
It was in-
Powell and Lamar Odom.
It was in Boston when they lost it, right?
And
Yeah, the game, the hurting one when he got blown out by 36 in that deciding
Ooh.
game. That really I remember the Mamba. He was pissed off.
Yeah. That was a tough one.
Yeah, it was.
He swallowed that hard because he said the hardest thing was because it was against the Celtics.
We
all remember the late,
team.
remember the old rivalry in the old days with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
Classic.
Yeah, I'll always remember that 2008 and 2010 because those two went at it. But like I said, if Biden didn't get hurt in 08, they would have had that championship. No doubt about it. That was they were missing.
Ooh.
And that was the year they had that big three in Boston. They had Garnett and Paul Pierce. And Ray Allen. It was funny. And then years later, the Heat copied them, and they went from that to LeBron and Chris Bosh. I mean, I always remember the introduction when they introduced it. They had this big rally and they had the big sign that says, "Yes, we did. We signed them."
A special edition of Sports Center just for the reveal where.
Well, that LeBron James, he's like, oh yeah, I remember. He goes, well, I've decided to take my talents
too.
It's funny. One of my former roommates was kind of joking because it was around the time Kobe Bryant was going to either leave the Lakers.
Okay, yeah.
So we were like, let's put Kobe in that parody, and it was like, I decided to take my talents down in the other locker room. I'll stay in LA, but I'm playing for the other team. I'm going to the other locker room, kind of like what Brandon Staley did with the Rams. He's like, screw this, I'm going to the other LA team.
But I noticed a thing with the Rams every season. They start taking our coaches, or they buy them out.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just that those coaching staffs, they get noticed.
They get noticed. They get noticed.
You look at the chain of history throughout the history of the game. Bill Parcells. You guys don't remember him, but Bill Parcells was a great coach. He won Super Bowls with the Giants, and he had a good staff back in the day. Most coaches you don't remember, you never heard of, but I remember his pupil was Bill Belichick. He was one of them. And then Tom Coughlin, he was another one. Belichick won 10 Super Bowls, and Tom Coughlin won 2 with the Giants, and then he had Sean Payton in that staff with the Cowboys. He won a Super Bowl, so it shows that that he had a coaching staff that was very, very potential to coach in the NFL. And then you look at Brian Billick with the Baltimore Ravens. He had future head coaches there. Rex Ryan was one of them. He was a loudmouth one that kind of was overconfident. But you look at Sean McVay. He came out of that Washington Redskins offense. Yeah, he was the tight ends coach.
Right.
Kyle Shanahan, who's the 49ers coach now, he was on that staff. And then also you look at Kingsbury from the Cardinals. He was on that staff. Now you look at McVay. He's got coaches that were in the NFL. Brandon Staley was one of them. You look at Raheem Morris. He's now in Atlanta. And then you look at Kevin O'Connor. He was Jared Goff's quarterback coach. He's the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow, yeah. Wow.
So every assistant he's had
turns into a head coach.
Yeah, he was offered a job, and that's what hurts McVay because he's got to keep hiring new. Like Wade Phillips was his first DC, but they got fired after Super Bowl 53. Right. He went to go to Houston. Then he brings in Brandon Staley. He had that 1 year with the good defense, but then he was one and done. He left, and then they bring in Raheem Morris, won a Super Bowl. And then, same thing. He went up, and now they bring in from Philadelphia, which, it comes with controversy because that Eagles defense really choked in that second. Because they got off to a good start.
Oh, yeah, they started.
Then after beating Kansas City, it went downhill,
Yeah, it was shocking.
So, I mean, Sean McVay, he's gonna go down as one of the best coaches in the history of the Rams. You look at what he's done when he first came in.
I believe so. I believe in him.
I mean, there's been good coaches in St. Louis. Dick Vermeil, greatest show on turf. Mike Martz was like the ringmaster of it.
Who was that coach that we never liked, or that many fans didn't like in the 2000s?
Yeah, Jeff Fisher, the guy that couldn't the guy that couldn't finish at 500. He always had to go 7-9. I mean, look, he brought culture back there.
No, he did. But,
he did. He kind of he revamped St. Louis, but they just couldn't get over that next step. I mean, I always remember one year, I believe 2010. That was after the 1-15 year. They bring in Steve Spagnuolo. He won a Super Bowl in the Giants. He was part of that 07 team that upset the Patriots. So he took over. They
Right.
bring in Sam Bradford. You know, Steven Jackson's still there.
Yeah.
You know, and they had young receivers, and he clicked with them. Like he repped that Rams offense because that was like a little bit of the old school St. Louis back in the day, you know. And the one thing that I always remember that it was disappointing that they ended up losing to the Seahawks the last game of the season. You know, I think they were the Seahawks like the first team to finish with a losing record and win a division.
Yeah,
and then we'll remember the Marshawn Lynch run like a week later. But
that was that same year that happened. Whoa.
Yeah. I was like, Saints better whoop their ass, you know, but it turned out that Marshawn Lynch whooped that ass.
That's it. I'm going to claim Matthews Rams jersey.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find that one.
Aw, never mind. They're sold out.
You could.
But speaking
eBay,
eBay. But speaking of that, now we're going to go and move to our next topic, which is your Los Angeles Rams.
Oh,
we know that the Rams lost Aaron Donald to retirement, and they've been a pretty busy team, you know, signing on the defensive end.
Yeah, they've been signing a couple signings for the offensive side that I really liked.
Yeah, and I believe the recent signing was cornerback Darius White from the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
He met with Sean McVay on Monday, and then it broke out on Tuesday that, or was it late yesterday that? Actually, no, it was yesterday. I remember I was walking to my class last night.
Right.
And I saw the alert.
The breaking news. Yeah.
He signed with the Rams for a 1-year deal.
1 year for $8.5 million. It's pretty solid for agents like Kevin.
And then they just signed Jimmy Garoppolo as well. They signed the guard Jonah Jackson, tight end Kobe Parkinson. Look, I'm gonna go into that one.
I like
quick.
The tight end.
Yeah.
Because we had to rebuild some way or another.
But let's explain this to the viewers.
Yeah, go ahead.
The reason they're signing him is because right now it is uncertain when or if Tyler Higbee will play.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't understand what happened, Tyler Higbee took a shot in the legs in the wild card loss to the Lions last year, which before I kind of started calling out the Lions, I accused them of bounty gate because of that hit.
Oh, awesome.
And I'm going to go back to that game really quick. There were a lot of fouls in that game that was not called.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Nuka Pakua took a couple.
Many shots.
Yeah, Nuka took headshots.
The Stafford headshot.
Got roughed up and then got stomped on, like in Ndamukong Suh. What the hell? Like, they went off on the Saints because of bounty gate, but yet you're gonna let this go down?
But have you heard about the guy who injured Higbee? He got released.
Yeah, I think that was poetic justice.
And got arrested for running away from the police.
He got arrested running away from the police.
Yeah, so
I think he realized that he couldn't do it. He couldn't like clip a cop's leg because he knew they would have bust out the knife sticks or I don't know that he was gonna get. I don't know what was gonna happen.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
And no, we're telling you, do not. We don't encourage that type of behavior. So do not try to lunge at a cop. Yeah. It is very bad. But I mean, you think it's poetic justice for what happened?
Say that to half of these drivers in California. Jesus.
Have you kept up with the NFL draft by any chance?
Well, we know the draft is coming up, but also what we want to do is we want to update you guys on some new rule changes.
Rule?
Yes.
Is it?
Wait, I like how he looked at me and he was like, "What the hell's going on?"
Is it that tackle
one?
No, well, that's one of them. That's one of them. The
XFL one.
On Monday, the NFL announced that it will no longer tolerate tackles from like the hip.
Oh.
Any player that commits a tackle like that will be flagged 15 yards for a personal foul and possibly ejection, maybe unsportsmanlike conduct. But so far, from what we're told, that it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, personal foul.
So no shoulder, no helmet contact, and now no.
Well, let me ask you. How fair is it on the defense on the defender with these new rule changes? Because this is how I see it, guys. A defender is always at a disadvantage. You can't forearm a quarterback. When a quarterback's running, you got to try to restrain yourself because if you hit him when he's down, guess what? 15 yards.
Right.
I mean, what do you think, Jesus?
I personally don't like that rule, man, because there's already, I think, too many rules for like tackles about you've seen it all. The refs throw the flags for a hit that wasn't necessarily a bad hit, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, what do you think about a couple years ago with Clay Matthews?
I was just about to mention that.
That's why they
Yeah.
made the rule changes, was because of Clay Matthews roughing the quarterback.
I gotta see that one.
Yeah, well, we get that. We'll pull that up for you, but we'll see if we can get that. But a couple of years ago, there was a streak where there was a stretch where Clay Matthews, when he was with the Packers and the Rams, he was getting flagged
Which one
for
was it?
personal fouls.
It was that
And I think
Seattle?
we have one of them here. Let's see if we can.
one. The Redskins, yeah.
Let's see if we can bring that up.
Yes, it was
Let's
against-
see.
yep, it was
Guys,
that
can you
one.
play that up?
Second down. Smith is jacked home right at you from the
I don't
front
get
side
it.
of your screen. And I want to see, is there helmet contact here? The helmet hits the shoulder. And that's what it is, from the neck up, from the shoulder pads up.
Was it the full body weight?
Play that one. Play that. No, that one. It's the same one, but it gives you more in
Ray
depth.
Lewis and Sean Taylor. Second down. Smith is jacked. Oh my! And a penalty. It's on Matthews again, and he can't believe it. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense to the 52.
That was a bad call.
Penalty, automatic. First down. That's the third roughing the passer on Matthews this year. So here he comes, right at you from the right side of your screen. And I was
Like
wondering, I
you
want to see,
can
is there helmet
see
contact
that
here?
there was.
The helmet
Was it
hits
his
the
whole
shoulder.
body weight
Like,
just landing
And
on his
that's what
body?
it
It
is,
wasn't
from
more
the
like his
neck
full
up.
body weight. It was
Shoulder
mainly just
pads
around
up.
his shoulder
The
part
helmet
and the
hitting
neck.
shoulder pad is
Well,
what
And
now
like,
it's on
almost
the
as
I mean,
expensive.
he's like it's gravity. You can't go
No,
on
you
ahead and
can't.
just float up like
No,
that.
yeah.
That's just how a tackle works.
So, yeah, that's how it works.
I just think that any type of contact to the helmet is gonna draw a flag. That's just how it is. I mean, you look at other ones. As we're gonna show another one here real quick.
Oh, these are just worst fucking.
Yep, these
Yeah.
are the worst roughing the passer
18.
calls of the 2018 and
That came all
19
the
season.
way from the back judge in the middle of the field.
Was it involved Joseph? No, it wasn't. It was.
Looks like that was
Like that shit.
Wilkerson.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Going up
That one,
against
like that one,
Jimmy Garoppolo.
that one I agree
Yeah,
is
the
a flag.
49 quarterback.
Like that one, do you agree it's a flag or no?
No, I think that was that's
Not that one,
no.
but when you rush them.
I think that was Muhammad Wilkerson. That was
Number 27 defense, that penalty is declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 93 defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing where you have people say, "Yeah, no, football just isn't football anymore." Like, you're gonna have to. When
you have to go to flag football.
Yeah.
When someone wants to make a tackle, you're gonna have to pick them up like a princess, spin them around, and then put them in the ground.
Or just
And
two-hand touch.
No,
Nah, flag football.
and then they'll throw a flag. They'll
You
say,
know they do flag football at the Pro Bowl now.
Oh, yeah.
because they got rid of the Pro Bowl game because they weren't playing seriously.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Pro Bowl no more after.
I don't think I
that.
never was
Oh, it
because there was one play. I think Josh Norman was the punter for the Bills, and the great Sean Taylor, the late Sean Taylor, he decked the punter, like he just went up and lunged at him. That was like the only play I remember from the Pro Bowl that that was straight up playing, But
Another time I remember the
I
Pro
think
Bowl.
the year, I think it was the 2021 season, was the last time they did an AFC versus NFC. They were playing with shoulder pads, but they were doing two-hand touch.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
I ain't really like
Yeah, I
that.
guess it's because they wanna like lower the risk of players getting injured
Yeah.
throughout the off season, rather than it being because it happens in practice. It happens
Well, a
in
lot of
practice.
NFL players said that we're just playing for fun, but at the same time we don't want to get hurt. Then don't play. You don't want to play, don't play.
It's more like it's more rather than it kind of reminds me of when Mahomes got fined for playing a game of pickup basketball,
Yeah.
which is like a sport that he has no ties to, but plays anyway. Because again, like you can't risk that guy getting injured.
Injured, yeah.
It's almost like getting you're valuing someone, a player, almost like evaluating an actor, like Aaron Paul from over in who played Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
He mentioned that he was on a skateboard, doing an ollie or whatever, and then he was asked like, were any of your cast members impressed with it? And he was like, nah, they weren't impressed. More rather, dude, you're gonna get hurt. Get careful with that.
What was he trying to do? Tony Hawk?
Tony Hawk. All he was doing was
just a little ollie, man.
Yeah, but again, like it's.
You want to do an ollie? Do it on the damn PlayStation. I used to play Tony Hawk on PlayStation 1 back when it was popular.
Skate 2.
Yeah, I used to try to get on the railing, but
You're talking about the PlayStation 1?
Yeah, the first PlayStation.
I would go to McDonald's just to play Tony Hawk.
Oh yeah, I would. I think I had cousins or something that had it, and we would race in the game. But every time I try to do like points to get points on grinding, I just kept flying off the damn rails. It just shows that I suck at skateboarding. But I mean, I just think, in my opinion, guys, is that the defenders are at a disadvantage because they cannot go full potential, and I think not going full potential is what will lead to injuries.
Or more like it'll lead to just
or like more flags,
not flags, or just not or trying at all. Because if we're gonna limit our guys of being able to have a very contact sport, it's why they say it's not for everybody, because like you're gonna get hurt. Things
in football, you're gonna get hurt. That's just how it is. In NASCAR racing, you run the risk of getting killed. We had that in 01. Dale Earnhardt died. Remember that. In IndyCar, same thing. Your risk of getting killed. We saw that happen a few years ago. That's why they went through the safety precautions. I mean, I get player safety and I support player safety, but at the same time, you got to put it on an even playing field and protect the defenders too, because they're at a disadvantage. You can't hit. Remember the year that Tom Brady took that hit? They changed it up. They started calling more calls. I think the one quarterback that got balled up the most was Cam Newton.
But he was a big body.
So yeah, but if you ever watch, I've seen his highlights. I've seen his tapes, and he took a lot of hits, and they never called it.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, like, if you're going to do it, you got to do it for all. Don't just, like, do it for particular. Like, they protected Kaepernick. They protected Brady. And they protected like Big Ben and Mahomes.
If you wanna get into a physical sport where no one's safe, try hockey. Those guys straight up throw.
Oh yeah, they will. They'll straight up. And here's another one. I think it was the Raiders and the Chiefs. I think it was not last year or the year before. That there was I think late in the half, the Raiders were driving, and I think Derek Carr got like his helmet touched, and they called roughing the passer. Or no, it was a fumble. Carr fumbled after getting hit by a defender, and they call it roughing the passer, and it wasn't even the pass attempted.
I don't know why.
It's one of those things that I'm trying to explain. Like, how do you know it's roughing the passer, especially when he fumbled the ball?
That's what I'm saying, man. The rules are gonna get more tough with all these restrictions of tackles under the belt.
Pretty soon, we're just gonna see the NFL, the National Flag Football League, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, most of these players might just move on to rugby.
Our book our flights to Australia,
And XFL is kicking off with the merge this Saturday, right?
Yeah, the XFL is back. Also, the arena football is coming back too. But let me go to the other rule that the owners approved. It's called a wild new kickoff rule.
What?
So if you watch the XFL, the lineup's different. So you have one line of the kicking team. Normally in the NFL, the receiving team is spread out, correct?
Correct.
Now it's now where let's see if we can get a clip of that. Let's see.
Just talks about it.
But I'll explain it here. So basically, defenders are
something
face
like
each other. Yeah, let's see if we can.
And look at the formation. So, what you think about this rule? Personally, the new kicking.
Should I keep my language clean or what?
Yeah, no, whatever.
I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it is.
Wait, that's the kickoff rule?
Yeah, that's
I was not even
kickoff.
looking. Look at it again. Wait.
Quit looking at the Chinese food, man. I know you're
it's
hungry.
It's not Chinese
So
food.
she's kicking from their 30.
So the
But then-
kickoff is regular, except
Yeah.
that the defenders are like within 5 yards
5
of
yards.
each other, and they can't move until the
So
receiver.
the kicker kicks it.
No, not until the guy catches
Oh,
it.
okay.
So is this just XFL?
This is what the NFL's gonna
No.
approve. They approved this.
Oh no.
We're
Yeah.
really gonna go down this road. At this point, football is not gonna be what it
Well,
is.
that's the thing I'm telling you. They approved this. The owners, they had their annual owners meeting, and this was the first thing they approved. Besides the hip tackle thing, this is the second thing they approved.
Yeah.
What's the? Oh, by the way, what's the XFL's LA team?
They don't have an LA.
They don't have one
There's no
We
LA
have
team.
one.
at the moment.
We did have one in the
The
inaugural.
closest one, I believe, is Seattle.
No, here's the
Seattle
thing. Here's the
Raiders.
thing. We did have an LA team. I think they were the Dragons or something like that. That was the inaugural year, but unfortunately, that was the COVID season.
Yeah.
The league stopped after 5 games.
Mm.
So when they brought back the league in 2021, there was actually no 2022
When Dwayne Johnson
when
bought
the
out
Rock
the
the Rock bought the
took over.
XFL in 2022
Uh-huh.
because at the time there was no ownership.
Yeah.
The last
COVID
owner gave
destroyed
it up.
everything. Yeah.
So
We were the LA Wildcats.
Oh yeah.
yeah, they were playing at the what it used to be called the
The
Home Depot,
Home
Center.
Depot
Now it's the
slash
Dignity
Dignity
Sports
Sports
Arena.
Arena. Yeah.
So
This does not look like an LA team.
no, it doesn't.
Man, didn't. Or they didn't play like one either.
Yeah, majority of our LA teams here are like blue or like very dark colors. They're like red and yellow and all. It reminds me.
Yeah,
It reminds me
it's,
of
It reminds me of my high school's colors.
mine was just red,
Uh,
like the Kansas City Chiefs, sort of.
Yeah, mine was always blue. Blue.
Yeah, it's not LA without blue
Or red.
or red.
So CBS Sports reported that it passed 29-3.
Wow.
So 3 owners actually believe that football's still a game. Meanwhile, the other 29 were like,
What's going on?
yeah.
This is not.
Well, here's the thing. Well, the good news about this is that they're gonna try it for 1 year.
Okay.
If it sucks, they're gonna kill it.
Which
So
most likely will happen.
Which will, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the minute that you don't see kickoff returns for touchdowns, you're gonna have to kill that rule eventually.
Or lots of injuries.
What
You
if
think
there's too
more
many
injuries?
like touchdowns?
There is gonna be no touchdowns on that. You saw what it looked like. How are you gonna get
Oh,
a
there
touchdown?
could be a touchdown.
I mean, it's
You could-
possible. It's possible.
Instead of, I can see it.
I know
Yeah,
it's
the only possible, the
Keyshawn
only
Nixon will
Oh,
be
yeah,
able to do it.
he's gonna
Keyshawn
do
Nixon
it. Yeah,
will be
he's
able to do
solid.
it.
Nah, they'll do a Kevin Dyson, the what is it, the Miracle in Tennessee that 1 year.
Or what is it gonna be? Is it gonna be Diva Samuel?
I'm gonna just like I'm gonna do a what the Dolphins did. They
Kevin
do like the
Hester.
lateral
legend.
drazzle or the Music City where you lateral it from one side of the field to the other. The guy just hauls ass down the sideline. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
it's
So-
not. I mean, it's not like a regular kickoff. It's just more like you're getting
Like
ready
a-
to go to practice.
Like a punt. I
well,
can picture it like a
no,
punt.
it's more like when you go to practice. When you
Oh,
got
yeah.
the practice tackle.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
JV. That's a JV play right there.
That's like junior varsity and all that
Yep.
stuff.
JV.
I mean, the ball will still be kicked from the 35, but the thing is, the coverage teams will be lined up within 5 yards.
Mm-hmm.
They can't move until that returner starts moving,
Catches. How?
and they can call for a catch too.
Right.
So yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You know what? You're right. It is like a punt because
Yeah,
he's
it
not
is.
gonna kick off with a tee. He's gonna kick off with his damn foot.
I'm telling you. That rule. Damn.
Yeah.
Don't even-
It's like it's like what Clay Matthews said right after that roughing the passer call where he's just like, that's football, and if you wanted to hurt the guy, he would have, but like it's not what he meant to do. And then how he later on mentioned that this league is going in a direction where I believe that no one's gonna like, and this seems to be an example of that. A few years later, like it's just this XFL kick
Return.
return coming into the NFL. It's just
Yeah. I mean,
it's not.
let me give you more details of it. So let's say there was a penalty during the kick. If they have to re-kick, only the kicker can move the ball. Everyone else will still have to stay within that
Stay
5
where they're
yards.
at?
Yeah.
What the?
So if he's returning it and you kick it and there's a foul on his side or
Okay.
on you guys and you guys have to re-kick, they go back to that same 5 yards, but you gotta go either up or back 5 yards, you know. And if the ball gets out of bounds, which might happen, kick off out of bounds, the ball will be placed at the 45-yard line.
3 yards?
That's 3 yards.
3 yards for the offensive?
I mean, hey, what if they kick it out of bounds on purpose? They're gonna be like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just gonna kick it out of bounds, man.
Yeah, this thing here is pretty
It's pretty
yeah,
stupid.
I don't like the
I'm
new
sorry.
rules. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't like the new rules.
it's way too broken.
I mean, I don't know. What the only rule that I like that they changed was like they made it a 17-game season. We get an extra week of football before playoffs.
That's a good thing.
That was
and
the
bad
only
thing,
good thing
though.
they did.
That's a good thing and bad thing.
Oh yeah, because there's only 3 preseason games.
Oh, so it's shorter. Okay.
That was for years that was gonna happen. You know that talk was brought up for years and years and years about having a 17-game season, but finally they were like, if you want it, you can have it, but you cut back a preseason game because that's just too much football.
Okay. Yeah. How about where's the Super Bowl at this year?
I believe the Super Bowl is going to be. It was in Vegas, right?
Yeah,
I believe it's going to be in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah. No, Atlanta or New Orleans, one of those, for sure.
Is it gonna be in Mercedes Benz?
That's New Orleans.
No, that's Atlanta.
No, that's Atlanta.
Atlanta.
No, Mercedes Benz is
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
I believe that's
Come on,
Mercedes Benz Super
It's
Bowl.
Atlanta.
It's in Atlanta. Oh boy, here.
So it says actually.
Because I heard about how.
No, it's actually we had someone in the control room looked it up for us and says that it's in New Orleans.
What?
February 9, 2025. That's where the Super Bowl will be in New Orleans.
Whoa. I didn't expect that one.
And I believe after that, SoFi gets it.
Yup, we're back at it in LA. SoFi Stadium.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. It's going to be in San Francisco.
You what?
Oh.
Levi Stadium?
So it's going to be, I believe it's going to be New Orleans, then Frisco, then I believe LA. Remember, 2026, I believe the Olympics is coming here, the Summer Olympics.
2028, yep. The Olympics.
So it's not the World Cup.
Nah,
I think the World Cup is.
The World Cup got postponed till like 2020, 2030.
Man, why is the World Cup keep on getting? Oh man.
And I think
it doesn't matter. Also,
yeah.
not making it anyway.
Well, not even Mexico's gonna take it off. Or
well,
USA.
Argentina is considered to be the defending champions.
Yeah, Messi.
Well, without
Without
Chicharito.
Messi,
it would take place. It would be from June 11 to July 19, 2026. So we're giving you guys a two year advancement.
So New Orleans Saints Stadium is the.
It's gonna be here, and it's gonna be in the
Superdome.
States here. There's 16 cities. Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. is gonna host certain matches.
But I heard SoFi just got they got denied for the World Cup.
Oh, they're a bunch of haters, you know.
Yeah.
They're just hating because SoFi is a good stadium. SoFi
SoFi Stadium was.
World Cup
one of
was
the
supposed to be
stadiums.
one of the matches, but they say no,
didn't.
they moved it somewhere else, which I think is total BS.
No.
That's what happens when they hate on SoFi. Also, here's this is a funny one right here, or this is a weird one. So you guys know the show Good Morning Football on NFL Network?
Nope.
They've been filming in New York since it started.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on Monday they announced that they are going to put the show on hiatus this week, and they're going to be moving production to Los Angeles.
Right in front of the SoFi
What did
Stadium.
you think of that?
Yeah, the new SoFi Stadium came with the new NFL Network building that's right in front of the SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, game day final is like right there.
Well, pretty much everything out of the NFL Network will be produced out of that building.
Yeah, a lot of the people that work at that show or host the show, some of them are not happy with the move. Some of them are. They're kind of okay with it. But I mean, it's good to kind of have business booming again. I mean, but you wonder, like, the NFL. what capital city is it? Is it New York or is it Los Angeles? I mean, will the NFL office come to LA too?
I could see it one day coming
You
to LA.
think you see it coming?
Yeah, one day. Well,
I mean, what about
What
you?
about
What do you
you?
think?
What?
He's looking at the menu again.
I wasn't even looking at. I didn't even.
The menu's like right in front of you.
Jesus Christ. All right. What were we talking about?
I gotta slap you upside the head, man. Seriously. I gotta open up. I would lay a smack down on
repeat
your.
the question.
I'm gonna lay a smack down on your candy ass, man.
Yeah.
So the question was, what city is the capital of the NFL?
Yes, you know what
Los
that's-
Angeles or New York? Because Good Morning Football is coming to LA this year. The
Well,
NFL office, the head office is in New York still.
hmm.
You know, Jesus says he could see that office moving here in a couple years.
Like the whole NFL.
The whole NFL operation could come to California. I mean, if that's even possible.
I mean, I guess it would be possible for them to have it all here in LA, as considering to how small New York is. If they're talking in the
That's
city, then obviously there's going to be a lot more.
Well,
going on here because-
this show was this program was filmed in the big studios in downtown Manhattan, which is like shocking to me. That's why I was like, why are they moving it from New York to LA? New York, but so here's the thing. Some people say they want to move it because of and I'm not trying to get political here, but because of certain policies in New York, situations in New York.
You have to pay like monthly to have.
Well, that too. There's another thing too. So there's a rumor going around saying that the channel doesn't want to pay to use the building. So I mean, I don't know if that's going to be the same case here in Los Angeles or it's more cheaper here.
Who knows, indeed.
I mean, they don't want to say it, but I mean, for me, I think it could be a political reason or it could be a financial reason.
There could be a little bit of both as well.
Well, the only reason I bring it up is because the host, Jamie Ertl, who's currently on maternity leave, she gave a farewell to the studio last week, and she basically said near the end of her speech to the executives to like always, do this decision wisely because you know how it will affect people. I mean, what she's saying is
She
like,
gave a hint.
well, what do you think? What do you think when she said that? You think because
Oh yeah.
I mean, people move companies to other cities because of financial reasons. I mean, we have companies in North California that left North California because of financial reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the In-N-Out there. They're going to close that In-N-Out this week.
Where?
In-N-Out in downtown Oakland.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're
No one
well,
cares
that's
about-
the only In-N-Out in that area.
Yeah.
And they're closing it down because of
Because of the
certain
high
crime.
crime rate.
Well, we're gonna have to go to San Francisco for that. I mean,
People think that's the same thing that's going on with Good Morning Football. They're moving to LA because of certain reasons. I mean, look, we're not gonna like spend time into it, but you always wonder, is there something going on? Because I mean, if a show's being moved to another location, there has to be a reason why.
kind of like why the New York Giants stadium is all the way in Jersey and not in actual New York, because they were looking into rather the city other than the actual places like Long Island, upstate, and all the other places. But they say, oh, it's too expensive to put around here in the state. But
Well,
they don't know. They just know one thing. New York is a lot bigger than the city. Yeah, like Long
Big
again,
state.
Yeah, Long Island, other like geez.
They even have a New York.
Yeah, it's just huge.
Rochester, I think. Rhode Island is like another big city there.
Rhode Island.
I mean, they film Men in Black in Manhattan.
There's Buffalo, which they already have. They already have the Buffalo.
Yeah,
Bills
Buffalo.
there.
It's funny. The Jets were actually thinking about moving out there when they were negotiating the stadium before MetLife was built. They were gonna say we want to move on the other side of Jersey. So I mean, that could be the case, but I mean,
Nice accent.
oh yeah, thank Jersey.
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 Well, that's how they say. Hey,
Like that.
no. If you ever been to New York, you go to the pizzeria. Hey, what's up? Can I get 2 slices of pepperoni?
Pizza?
Oh yeah, pizza or basketball.
That's how they say it?
No, I don't know. They have an accent when they talk about the Knicks.
Every state has accents.
Okay, what's
Oh,
that?
the Knicks don't like Trae Young.
No, they don't.
They say
Oh, that's obvious. That's obvious right there. Trae Young is the villain in the NBA right now. He is a villain. Even though
Why is that?
Because he's just like Like I don't know if you've seen them against they're calling it Trey Young versus the entire state of New York. I don't know if you ever seen it.
Yeah.
There's
Go
this
ahead.
there's this video I think from the YouTube channel
Let's see it right now.
Side Talk. And
I talk about Trey Young, the basketball player for the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the guy we're talking about.
Side Talk, and it was literally, and there's a New York Spider-Man there. He's the guy that's in a Spider-Man suit that wears
Oh yeah.
a bandana, a Yankees hat, and a pair of Timbs. They call him Spider Cuz, and
He doesn't like training at all.
it's Trey Young, and it's just oh despicable. It's literally the entire state is against Trey Young. Hold on, all right, because there's usually a ding dong. Oh yeah, it's muted. All right, so yeah, but yeah, Trey Young can't go to he can't go to New York.
Let's commentate and see what we see.
Suck my dick, Trey Young! Suck my dick! Fuck Trey Young! Yo, Trey Young looks like my dad's dick! I never saw my dad's dick! He still looks like shit! I better not catch Trey indictment! I love, give me a shot at it!
By the way,
Go New York, go
apologize
New York,
for
go!
some language if that's your fault at the beginning.
It's Trey Young, Ballot! No! Fuck Trey Young! You motherfucker! I'm gonna fuck you up!
Could Trey Young come to your hood right now?
Hell no! I'll shoot that nigga and bomb his ass!
What would you say to Trey Young right now?
Fuck Trey Young! Fuck Trey Young! Yeah! We outside, nigga! Yeah!
So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, we do,
everyone
that's
hates
insane.
Trey Young.
Like I
Yeah,
said,
I
we
seen
do
those clips
we do want to apologize for some of the remarks there.
Trey Young's bald,
It's
supposedly.
it gets very sensitive sometimes when it comes to a certain player.
Very
you know?
much no, because I mean
Uh,
New
but-
York is a party city right over there. They're very
And-
passionate about the Knicks.
Just like LA, they were
very
passionate,
about the
competitive,
Knicks.
a
Yeah,
little bit of everything.
like I bet like it would be a year to be a Knicks fan, but Jesus, they have not won the championship since the 70s.
The 70s, he said.
The 70s.
Wow.
The 70s.
The 70s. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Let's see here. Knicks championship.
Did you see the Angels game today?
Oh yeah, I was about to say.
Oh my
let's
God, man.
Yep.
let's talk about the next team,
They've
baseball.
they've only ever won 2 championships.
Who was in their team at that time?
It was
Oh, my favorite theme of the season, and yes, today was opening day
Opening
in Major
day.
League Baseball, and the real question was, how did Shoni Otani do today? In the aftermath of his sad saga of his former partner being accused of gambling and basically a Pete Rose.
Stealing from Otani, pretty much.
I mean,
Millions of
how do
dollars.
you think Otani did today, Jesus?
I believe I was watching the game. His first 2 at bats, 3 at bats, he got on base. Well, his first official at bat, he got a hit,
Yeah, I saw that.
which was a double, but it wasn't an RBI because Betts didn't round the third base. So yeah, he did pretty solid. The Dodgers ended up winning 7-1, I believe.
Yeah, we're getting we're trying to get the stats for you, but it was 7-1. It was opening day at Chavez Ravine, and
the
and-
2 people who homered was Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts.
No, here's the thing though.
Go ahead.
Tell me if you agree on this.
Mhm.
Dave Roberts, the manager.
Uh,
Do you believe he's on the hot seat this year? Is this like a do or die year for him?
Yeah. For what they did off season, they pretty much went all in or nothing.
Yeah, have we heard that term before?
Yeah, every year. But this time, I personally don't like Dave Roberts like in the playoff when they get to the playoffs. 'cause
It's
every
funny.
time it goes down,
My brother-in-law tells me this too. Dave Roberts is good in the regular season,
100 wins.
but the thing is but the thing is it's if he's good in the regular season, but he's not good in the playoffs.
Right, that's what I was trying to say. like he every year they get 100 wins, 90 wins, but when it comes down to the postseason, like last year, they got swept by the Arizona Diamondbacks.
They were swept by the Padres or
No,
the Diamondbacks?
Arizona Diamondbacks.
But that was the second year they got swept. The year before, I think they won 100 games.
Yeah.
And they were favored to win because it was the passing of Vince Scully,
right.
And then they went ahead and they got swept by the Padres. And,
which is
Ohtani, and then Ohtani, he did good. He was a DH. He went 2 for 3.
Yeah, pretty solid.
He walked, and I believe he scored a run. So
pretty good opening day.
And then Betts, he same thing with him. He brought in a run. He walked twice. He batted in a run.
Yeah, he got a home run. He hit a home run with
Smith was the one that struggled more. He got one hit.
The rookie Alman got an RBI as well, I believe, with a hit.
What do you think of the pitching?
For Dodgers?
Yeah.
It's better than it has ever looked, I believe, in the last couple of years. Because Asnell was pretty good with the Rays. Yamamoto, who came from Japan, I believe, as well.
Yeah,
even though he had a bad spring training, I feel like he'll get into the rhythm.
Well, he just needs practice. He just needs practice.
Coming from a different league straight to the MLB, I think it's pretty different.
It's 100.
You gotta get adjusted to.
It's 100. It's 162 game season.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of games.
Yeah. So I believe that he will get up there in time as long as he stays healthy. But you're right. They went all in, and I believe this has to be a World Series. But I think I think it's a do or die for him. Dave Roberts is on the line. He's been here long enough. He hasn't really produced much, just regular season wise. He's just not shown to be consistent in the playoffs. So we're just gonna have to wait to see how they contend with the good wins, with the rest of the NL West and the National League and the American League. And it says here that they're 2-1, so they've already played 3 games.
Last year they started the series in Korea, which was pretty odd that they started a week before, but they went back to spring training.
Yeah,
and the season started again, which was pretty odd. A lot of what the hell was going on, but yeah.
Well, the winning pitcher is actually Glasnow.
Glasnow, yeah.
He went 6 innings,
5
strikeouts too, and he only walked one batter.
And only threw 60 to 80 pitches, which is pretty.
That's pretty decent.
Good, yeah.
Normally they go over 100.
That's a lot of rest.
But put it this way, Yarbo got I believe he got the save, or he was he just
ended the game. Yeah, the reliever.
Yeah, he went 3 innings and pretty much shut the whole team out.
The rest of the game.
They will get it on again tomorrow at Chavez Ramin. You can watch that game on Sportsnet LA if you have it, or if not, you can watch it on KLAC 570, the radio station.
Is it a noon game or a night game?
I believe it's a night game. Trying to get that confirmed, but it looks like it will be a night game because they did play today. And I seen your face, so I know what you're gonna talk about next. So might as well just get it over with. Okay, here we go. So the Los Angeles Angels, after losing Shohei Ohtani, did some free agency moves, but we don't know what the status of the team will be. But they kicked off in Baltimore against the Baltimore Orioles. We're gonna pick it up in the first inning. Mike Trout, the first home run of the season, 400 feet. That was the only highlight of the Angels. After that, it was just on Baltimore. Orioles score 11 runs, and the Angels lose to the Orioles 11-3. Orioles had 10 hits, 11 runs. The Angels, 2 hits, 3 runs. Winning pitcher was Burns. Losing pitcher Sandoval.
Yeah, Sandoval only went 2 innings, gave up about 5 runs.
I just think that
and after that Mike Trout home run in the bottom of the first.
That was the only highlight.
No other Angel got a hit besides Mike Trout.
Just really quick to confirm, tomorrow's game with the Dodgers is going to be a night game. It'll be at 7:10. Again, you can watch it on Sportsnet LA or KLAC 570.
Are the Dodgers still partnered with Spectrum like the Lakers?
Yes.
So you got to buy cable to watch the Lakers and Dodgers game?
Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty crazy.
You know how it is now, this business.
Oh, yeah, business is booming.
Hey, if you want to watch the Angels, you can watch them on Valley.
Valley Sports.
Sports.
Or
But I don't. I mean, here's the thing.
Streamies. Shut up.
I just think that the Angels are going to struggle with pitching. They just. I mean, let me ask you the key question: will Mike Trout stay at Angel through the season? What's the possibility that the Angels are opening up to trade him just to get rebuilding?
That's a tough one to answer because last year we could have traded Otani and got plenty of great young pieces, a couple of draft picks as well, but none of that happened. So that's a big. I can't answer that question, but I could see him getting traded at the same time, just staying loyal with us forever. So it could be a. I don't know.
It could be like a San Diego and Philip Rivers type of thing.
But how do you like?
Oh yeah, that's kind of some.
Here's the thing:
similar.
how do you get people to come over here? You know, how can you recruit and say, hey, come to play for the Angels?
Forget Angel fans.
You can't. I think we had the pieces we had with Otani a couple years. That was our best time to get the best pieces or get the best stars to come over here.
Yeah, because Otani was a fan favorite in
Oh
the
yeah,
Angels.
he's like the baseball. Everybody watches Otani. Everybody appreciates Otani for what he's done.
Now
But
it's who?
it's with the wrong team. The Angels never went out as planned.
Well, we are running a little bit on time here, so I'm going to ask you guys just one final question, final thought here. Will the Angels make the playoffs this season?
If y'all give that Vladimir Guerrero, probably.
Like Guerrero Jr.
No comment.
Vladimir Guerrero
Vladimir, the dad or the son?
Jr.
Oh, Junior. I could see him.
Mm-hmm.
But nah,
What about the Dodgers? How far do you think they'll go?
The Dodgers are gonna make it to the playoffs, but not to
You don't
to
think
the
they'll go
World
far?
Series. Not to the World Series.
I see.
If they stay healthy, nah. But every year's the same: 100 wins, playoffs.
And Dave Roberts will be fired.
Right.
Well, we're just about to run out of time here on Sports Talk. We do want to thank you guys for tuning in. Next week is spring break, so probably we will be back after spring break. So you can catch us here in Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. Thank you guys for joining us today. Just want to say thank you and happy Easter, and we'll see you next time here on Sports Talk.
Peace.
Peace.
Woo.
All right.